Hello friends, this video on matter and magnetism part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 6 before going ahead with part 7. Now we will talk about the magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. Before some time we talked about the magnetic force on a charged particle. Now let us suppose that instead of a charged particle, if there is a current carrying conductor, that means there is a conductor which is carrying some current, and if this conductor comes inside the magnetic field, then what will be the force experienced by that conductor, right? So we will derive an expression for the force experienced by this current carrying conductor. So till now we saw that the magnetic force on a single charge is given by Q into V cross B, right? Now here we have to assume that instead of this single charge, there is a conductor which is carrying some current. Let us suppose that we have a conductor which is in the form of a rod which is of length L. This is the length of the conductor, and the cross-sectional area of the conductor is A. We assume that let us assume that some current is flowing through this conductor. Let us say some current I is flowing through the conductor. Some current I is flowing through the conductor. Now current is flowing means there are some charges which is carrying the current. So to keep things simple as of now, we assume that there are only one type of carriers right now. There are one type of carriers, say electrons. That means electrons are the charge carriers. Electrons are moving. That is why current is flowing through the conductor. That is what we have assumed right now. But in reality, there are positive charges also which are moving inside the conductor, right? So for now, we assumed only electrons. And let us say that the number density of the electrons is N. Number density, that is number of electrons per unit volume, is N. So number density means number of electrons per unit volume, right? So that means that what will be the total number of electrons in this rod? So total number of electrons in this rod will be equal to the number density multiplied by the volume of the rod, right? Because number density is number of electrons per unit volume. So number of electrons will be equal to number density into volume. And what is the volume of the rod? Volume is nothing but length into area. So this will be NaL. So this will be the total number of electrons inside this rod. So that means due to the movement of these many electrons, current is flowing through this rod. Right, that means these many electrons, there are total these many electrons, and these many electrons are moving inside this rod, because of which there is current flowing through the rod. Now we have seen before that the magnetic force on one charge is this much. So now you have so many charges. These many charges are there. So what will be the magnetic force on so many charges, right? Let us assume that drift velocity of each electron is, let us say that each electron is moving with a drift velocity Vd. We have talked about drift velocity, right, in our previous lessons when we were talking about electricity. So let us suppose each electron has a drift velocity Vd. Therefore, velocity of all electrons will be how much? It will be total number of electrons into Vd. So this will be the total velocity of all the electrons. Now we know total velocity of all the electrons. Therefore, we can calculate the total magnetic force on all electrons. What will be total magnetic force? It will be the total charge on the electrons into the total velocity of the electrons cross the magnetic field. So what is the total charge on the electrons? The charge on the electrons is equal to Q. Let us assume that the charge on the electron, I'm not writing it as E, instead I'm writing the charge as Q. And what will be the velocity of so many electrons? It is nothing but NaLVd, right? So the total charge on so many electrons will be NaL into Q, and this is Vd cross D, right? So this will be the total force on all the electrons, right? So what I did basically, we know that magnetic force on a single charge is Q into V cross B. But in this case, you don't have a single charge. You have so many electrons inside this. So we first calculated how many electrons we have. So we have these many electrons. Now, what is the velocity of so many electrons? So the velocity of so many electrons is this much. So the force will be equal to Q into NALVD. So instead of V, it will become NALVD cross B. So that will be the total force on so many electrons, right? So let me write it more neatly. So this is equal to Q NALVD cross B, right? So this is the total force on all the electrons. Now from our previous studies, we know that current density J is equal to NQVD, right? This is how we define current density. You remember in our previous class. See, I cannot refer to everything. I cannot prove everything now because I have already discussed all these things in our previous classes. So I can replace NQVD with this current density J. So what am I left with? I am left with Fm is equal to JAL cross B. Now again here, what is J? Current density is current per unit area. So current density is current per unit area. So that means current density into area is nothing but current. So this I can write it as current and this is L cross B. So your magnetic force is equal to IL cross B. That is current into the cross product of length and magnetic field. So here in this case, your magnetic force, magnitude of magnetic force will be nothing but Fm is equal to IL cross B. Please make a note that here length is the vector. It is the length vector, and because current is a scalar quantity, right? And length is the length vector. Like how we talked about area vector, similarly here it is length vector, because if the orientation of the length changes, then the force experienced will vary. Right? So here also, so the magnitude in this case will again be given by ILB sine theta. And when I talk about where theta is the angle between L and B, that is the angle at which this current conductor is oriented with respect to the magnetic field. And when I talk about direction, the direction is again given by L cross B. That means use right hand rule. You curl all your four fingers from L towards B, then your thumb will give the direction of the magnetic force, right? So I hope it is clear to you now. And another thing I would like to mention here is sometimes students get confused that here it is written Q into V cross B, but here suddenly Q, this bracket is removed. Why is it so? That's because when you look at your cross product, let us suppose you have some scalar quantity or some number 2. Say 2 into A cross B. What does it mean? It means 2 into AB sine theta, right? This is just for your reference. Now instead of this, if you have 2A cross B, what does it mean? It means 2A into B sine theta, right? So the same thing applies here also. Here it was Q into V cross B. So this, instead of this V, this Q into V cross B, we wrote it as QV cross B. So QV, we wrote it like this, cross B. Clear? So instead of QV, I wrote this entire thing as Q into V cross B. So that is how I wrote it here also. So your force, magnetic force on a current carrying conductor becomes I into L cross B. Please remember these conclusions which we are getting, because when you reach towards the end of the lesson, you will see that you will have to find out the direction of magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. Sometimes you will have to find out the magnetic force on a particular charged particle. So please keep all these things in your mind so that it becomes easy for you to evaluate the direction at that time. Now let us suppose, just now we considered till now we considered that the conductor is a straight current carrying conductor which has a particular length L and a cross sectional area A. So it was a nice conductor. Now let us suppose instead of that kind of a nice conductor, if you have any conductor of some arbitrary shape, in that case, how would you find the magnetic force on that conductor? So in that case, we can write, let us suppose that the conductor is of any arbitrary shape, like this, like that, or anything. It can be just any shape. So how will you find it in that case? In that case, what we do, we take a small element of the conductor, because we don't know the shape of the conductor at all. So we cannot tell anything about its dimensions. So what we do, we take a small element of the conductor. Let us suppose I took a small element, say dl of the conductor, and then I find out the magnetic force on this small element of length dl of this conductor. And then I say that the total magnetic force will be summation of I into dl cross d. Or in case of continuity, we say that this will be integration of I dl cross b. So this is an important approach to be followed, because most of the times we will come across conductors which will be of some arbitrary shape of which we are not sure. So we will take a small element of the conductor, we will find out the magnetic field or the magnetic force at that small element, considering that is an element of length dl, and then we will find out the total magnetic force on the conductor by integrating the magnetic force experienced by that small element. Right? Okay. Now please make a note here that the magnetic field which we are talking about here, that is this magnetic force I L cross B. Here the magnetic field which we are talking about, this magnetic field is the external magnetic field. This magnetic field is not produced by this current carrying conductor, right? I think I have already mentioned that before. Like the magnetic field is produced by some other source, and this current carrying conductor enters the magnetic field. So this current carrying conductor experiences the force due to magnetic field. But this magnetic field is not produced by this current carrying conductor, right? Okay. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.